All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial in the tech world today, connecting your world to the cloud. We're going to dive into AWS Storage Gateway. The easiest way to think of it is as the ultimate bridge, the thing that connects your own local data center to the massive power and scale of the AWS cloud. So this is the big question, right? It's something tons of businesses are wrestling with. You've got all this valuable, critical data sitting right there, on site. But you need to tap into the power of the cloud. So how do you actually do it? How do you build that bridge without any hiccups and make sure it's totally secure? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out.
Okay, here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with what Storage Gateway actually is, then we'll jump into why you'd even use it, the key benefits. After that, we'll look at some real-world examples, break down the 4 different types you need to know, and then wrap it all up with the must-know takeaways.
All right, let's kick things off. First up, connecting to the cloud. So what in the world is AWS Storage Gateway, really? Okay, so here's the best way to think about it. Imagine AWS Storage Gateway is like your own personal, super efficient delivery service. It literally picks up data from your local office, your on-prem setup, and zips it over securely to the AWS cloud. Whether you need to store it, process it, or just keep it safe for later, this gateway is the critical link that makes that whole hybrid cloud idea actually work. Okay, so we know it connects your on-prem world with the cloud. But why bother? What's in it for you? Let's dig into the key benefits, the real value proposition here.
It really boils down to 3 huge wins. First up, it saves you money. We're talking serious cost efficiency because you can stop buying so much expensive local storage hardware. Second, it's super secure. All your data is encrypted when it's moving and when it's just sitting in the cloud, so you can breathe easy. And third, the integration is just seamless. It plays nice with your existing applications, which means you don't have to rip everything out and start from scratch. It just works.
Theory is one thing, right? But let's see how this thing actually performs in the wild. We're going to look at some of the most common ways people are using this service to solve real, everyday problems. Man, this thing is a real Swiss Army knife. For starters, it's a lifesaver for data backup, giving you that super secure off-site copy of your data in AWS. Then there's disaster recovery. I mean, if your local data center goes down, poof, you can get back up and running from the cloud in no time. And here's a big one. You can shuttle massive data sets over to AWS to do some heavy-duty data processing and analytics. This means you can get incredible insights from your data without ever bogging down your own local gear. Okay, now this is where it gets really cool. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Think of it less like one single delivery truck and more like a whole fleet of specialized vehicles. AWS gives you 4 different types of gateways, and each one is custom-built for a very specific job. First up in our fleet, you've got the S3 File Gateway. This is your go-to workhorse for everyday files. It basically pretends to be a local file share, but when you drop files into it, it whisks them away and stores them as native objects directly in Amazon S3. This is absolutely perfect if you're planning to use that data for cool cloud-native stuff, like building a data lake or running machine learning models. Next up is the Volume Gateway. This one's all about block storage. Now what's that? Just think of it as the raw, underlying hard drive space that things like your applications and databases need to run. So what this gateway does is it makes cloud storage look and feel just like a local hard disk to your on-prem apps. And what's really neat is that it comes in 2 different flavors. And you'll definitely want to know the difference here because it's important. First, you have stored volumes. With this mode, your entire dataset is kept right there, on-site for lightning-fast access. Think of a video editing workstation that needs instant access to massive files. The whole dataset is then backed up to S3 in the background. Then you have cached volumes. This takes the opposite approach. Here, only your hot data, the stuff you use all the time, is kept locally. The rest of the dataset, the full shebang, lives in S3. This is a game changer for something like an Office file server where you only need the latest reports handy. It's a fantastic way to slash your local storage bill while keeping performance snappy for the files that actually matter. Remember those old clunky physical tape backups? Well, the Tape Gateway is here to make them a thing of the past. This one is specifically designed for long-term archival. It creates a virtual tape library up in the cloud. It's absolutely perfect for all that data you have to keep for years and years for compliance reasons, but almost never actually look at. The whole point is to finally get rid of all that expensive, cumbersome hardware. And finally, we have the most specialized vehicle in our fleet, the FSx File Gateway. Now this one has a very, very specific job. It's all about giving you super fast, local access to your files that are actually stored up in Amazon FSx for Windows File Server. So,
If your company's big on Windows file shares and you want a blazing fast, seamless connection to the cloud version of that, without your users even noticing a difference, this is exactly the tool you're looking for.
Okay, let's wrap this up and boil it all down. If you're studying for a certification or just want the absolute core concepts to stick in your brain, listen up. This is the final briefing.
All right, here's what you absolutely have to remember. Number 1, Storage Gateway is a hybrid service. It connects on-prem to the cloud. Number 2, there are 4 types: S3 file, volume, tape, and FSX file. Got it? Number 3, the big benefits are saving money, top-notch security, and seamless integration. And finally, remember the biggest use cases: backup, disaster recovery, and data processing. That's the core of it, right there.
And there you have it. That's AWS Storage Gateway in a nutshell. So the real question to leave you with is this. As you think about your own data's journey to the cloud, which one of these specialized delivery trucks is the right one for the job?